traded in. Some new stranger dwells within. Crazy circles are leading me back where I've been. So I'll start over again. Give until you give in. Pay the devil now to make amends, and I'll give all this back to you in the end.
For several years, I have said that the judicial officers, in Walker County, Alabama, have criminal and coercive intent in the way they handle their failure to appear and criminal contempt cases. The in-custody deaths, in the Walker County Jail, of Mr. Brian Michael Freeman and Jamie Lee Martin, are two of many examples of the adverse and deadly effects of the local administration of justice. Additionally, I strongly suspect that the aftermath of Mr. Freeman's death played a role in the arrest of the Walker County activist and manager of 3 radio stations, Terry Keith Hammond, who was the first to inform the public of the possible hanging death in the Walker County Jail. With or without the connection to the aftermath of Mr. Freeman's death, Mr. Hammond's arrest is a prime example of the deceitful and retaliatory nature of those involved in the administration of rights and justice in Walker County, Alabama. Furthermore, my activism in the retaliatory action of Walker County officials creates evidence of the malicious aforethought with deliberate indifference to the liberty interests and other basic and fundamental rights of each individual criminal defendant, in the manner and means in which rights and justice is administered in Walker County, Alabama. This is especially true in terms of 1. Establishing the specific intent of the judicial officers in the issuance of Mr. Freeman's and Mr. Martin's failure to appear warrants. 2. Establishing the specific intent of the judicial officers in administering the local procedures which were inflicted upon Mr. Freeman and Mr. Martin immediately following the execution of the failure to appear warrants for Mr. Freeman's and Mr. Martin's arrests. 3. Establishing the targeted, retaliatory, and mean-spirited manner that these Walker County judicial officers conspire with local law enforcement officers, with every expectation of remaining free of the restraints of an undertaking of bail for their repeated and quaint little misdemeanor federal crimes. To be clear, on multiple occasions, I have complained about the very procedures that were foisted upon Mr. Freeman, Mr. Martin, and a multitude of unwary souls, both the guilty and the innocent, alike. These rogue lunatics and thin-skinned psychopaths, who are invested with the judicial powers of the great state of Alabama, know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that these local procedures violate the very concept of due process of law. And yet, not only do they continue these rogue patterns and practices, but they also go to extremes to defend their rights to commit these morally corrupt improprieties.